Hi everyone, it's been a while. Hope you're doing amazing and well. It's your girl Masira here, and I would like to talk about this GBPJPY. So GBPJPY just happens to be one of my favorite pairs. That's why I'll keep on analyzing it here and there. So what do we see? I would like to start from the higher time frame, which is the monthly. I normally love the higher time frame because you can never go wrong. So what are we seeing in our monthly chart? We are seeing an obvious uptrend, as you can see. So the first thing you want to notice or find out on your trade when you open a chart is the trend. So this is an obvious time frame. This is an obvious trend, like uptrend. The market is trending, and of course, what do? We always want to trade a trending market. And what do we see? We are seeing an obvious W pattern on this particular chart. So like price came from up, it came sort of down, went up, came back down here, and then went back up. So that's the pattern we are dealing with. And if it is on a monthly, it's some good pips to look at. So after looking at that, I don't want to draw a lot of lines here and there because once we get down, it may be quite crazy. So I just want to look at the trend, which is an uptrend, and the pattern is W, which tells me it is a continuation pattern, and the market is most likely to be bullish for some good time. As you can see, it kept on moving up, down, and this previously it sort of did what? It sort of retraced. There's a retracement here. This particular rejection candle, it sort of retraced to this area, but we are having a current uptrend. It's sort of going back again. It did that, I think, because of this resistance zone that you can see. This one right here, there's a resistance here, and then it had to retest this resistance. And what do we expect? We expect price to keep pushing back upwards. So when you, after finishing, so that's all I can talk about in the monthly. When you come down on our daily, on our daily time frame, what do we look at? What are we looking at? What is price doing? So you can see it still has been respecting this trend line. Yes. And what do we see currently? Our highest point that we can see in this market is this area here. This one, as you can see, this is the highest point. And when price pushed, it kept on forming higher highs and higher lows, as you can see, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Then this is the uppermost part. And when it reached here, price just sort of does a serious pullback up to this support zone. See, this support zone that I'm going to be marking for you, this right here. Okay, so we could use another block for that so that we are not having a lot of things to deal with. So you could just use another block, and when you mark this, it's more clear, you see. So I'll just delete this. So as you can see, price came up to this uppermost part, this uppermost resistance, and there's a serious pull back up to this zone, and immediately it reached this area here, this support area. It created a nice rejection candle and then went back up, down, then back again up. And what do you see? It is still a W pattern, another W pattern on our daily time frame. Okay, this right here, it came down, went back up, back down, and then back up. So it's clear that this market is obviously trending on an uptrend. So what are we going to look at? We are going to try and look for some entries on our lower time frame, and that is the H1 and 30 minutes. So scrolling down on our H1, you are going to see that. Let me just zoom. This is what we are seeing. So looking down here on our H1, this is what you're seeing. And if you're to notice very well, there is a nice resistance zone. Okay, this is the area, the uppermost area, and then this right here, we are having a very nice resistance zone there. Okay, we are having a very nice price came, but it kept on retesting that area. Price couldn't push up there for some good time, okay, for some good time. But then when you draw our trend line as well, you are going to realize that this is actually telling us that there is another pattern being formed, you see, an ascending triangle. So how do you know that this resistance and then this sort of trend line, this upper trend line going up, meaning that the more the buyers, it tells, this pattern actually tells you that even if there is a wall and then they are consistently, like people are consistently banging on that wall, it could easily break down, okay? Like just what happened here. Buyers kept on knocking this support, this area here. It kept on knocking this area here. Knocked, but eventually they broke out. So this is a continuation pattern that could be represented in this way. So let me just delete this. You come down on your drawing tools and look for the triangle tool under geometrics that we talked about. So you come under your triangle and then you're just going to draw a line here, and then after that you're just going to pull it up here. So this is what I'm talking about. The pattern is quite clear, and these patterns will always be there in the market regardless. You just need to know that how does this pattern look like and what does it tell me about the market. Okay, so that's the pattern I'm talking about, the triangle, the ascending triangle, ascending. So this appears on an uptrend market, sort of like an uptrend. When the market is on an uptrend, this is when it is formed. So what happened after? We know very well that when we see this pattern, price will actually break out on the upside and move a similar distance, or actually the same distance as this widest part of the triangle. So what am I talking about? Using my price range, we are going to mark. So it will move from this point. It moved from this point to this point. This is the widest part of this triangle, okay? And what does it tell you if price breaks out? Now, for instance, it broke out here. What do we expect? We expect price to move a similar distance, okay? A similar distance, meaning if we are to clone this and carry this tool up here, or even carry it exactly, you're going to find that price has to move all the way up to this uppermost part, okay? This right here is what I'm talking about, just up here. That means price has to move, once it got out now like here, it has to move up to up here. And what happens? Eventually, of course, price broke out and we saw that it's still moving, it went down. And what do we expect currently? If you're to zoom in currently, what you are having to see, you'll notice that price moved from this point, from this resistance, had to retest this trend line of ours, and then went back up. A serious move in the market, and then eventually it came back to this zone. So we want to find out what was this all about. As I told you earlier, a market can never move all like a trending, like in a straight line. It has to retrace, and that's where we bring in our Fibonacci retracement tool. Very important. It tells you now, like in a trending market, where do you place your entries, where do you exit. So if you're to use your Fibonacci retracement and mark from this swing low, this candle, this last candle right here, and then drag to this uppermost candle, like the highest point, you will realize that actually market has come back to the 61.8%. So this is what I'm talking about. This right here, this 61.8%. Price actually came back to retest this area. And what are we seeing? Price is actually going back. It formed a lot of rejection candles at this point, and sellers couldn't break past this. So this tells us that buyers are still in full control of this market. Buyers are still pushing this market to the upside. So what do? We are going to place more buys because this is a valid trade. Though it is a Friday, it may be kind of slow, but trust me, it will have to move up to this last take profit of ours, this last black line here. Maybe I could just change its color. Okay, so it has to move up to this last TP. So this area, this support zone, is the 61.8%. So what do we expect price is going to move up? So our first TP could be this first black line, and then the next we shall trade accordingly to what we are seeing at each resistance here. So we could place our trade right here, like right now. Though it's kind of late, I'm already in this trade, though I had to clear everything to explain this particular strategy. But it's actually moving well, and trust me, GBPJPY is going to be trending up for some good time. So if we are to enter at this particular point, it could be a few pips anyway, because we've missed out an entry. Like, it's quite so this is it. If you're to enter at that particular point, we're going to find that, and then our stop loss will be just below there. We could choose a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, okay, up to that point there. So our TP could be that, okay. So how many pips are we looking at? So we could use our measure tool to determine. So from our entry, or even no, this particular long tool could tell us. So we are looking at 93.3 pips. So depending on your risk management and how much you can afford to risk, you could enter this trade and go away with 93 pips from the market. So that's it. That's how I actually broke down. My strategy is basically top-down analysis plus, of course, pure price action. So this is how I got to use this particular ascending triangle, okay. It's very simple. You have to trade what you're seeing in the market. You don't need to act in any influence or act in any person's influence. All you need to see, identify, and know, how does this work? If this happens, what do I do? So thank you so much for watching this video. Hope to see you in the next video. Comment down below what you think about my analysis, my setup, and let's discuss more about this pair. Thank you so much once again. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.